Live here at Free Admissions. This is the Gym Crashers with me, Joey the Bull, Adam the Reporter. I call you Adam the Reporter.
I'd say we'll go by my gym nickname, Adam Youngblood Araby.
And this is your boy,
simple.
The gentleman himself,
right Jeffrey, here. The gentleman right here, yes. A guy who's taught me pretty much almost everything, if not basically everything I know about fighting, if not with you and a bunch of other people, but definitely a big factor. There are definitely others, but definitely I would say a big factor, definitely a big guy, or a big... I can't even think right now. I've been so tired from work. But
I am not a big guy.
No, definitely not a big guy, but definitely held a lot of knowledge and willing to give it.
And
a great coach, a good coach.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely helped spark my passion, and here we are now. You know, I'm hosting the show. You're a fighter coming on this show that I'm hosting.
Yes, sir.
You know, full circle, guys. Who would have known me walking into a gym one day and getting my ass kicked by this guy will lead to me finding how to be an adult?
Well, you know, you deserve a good ass kicking once in a while.
I know, right? You know,
I've been knowing this guy for a minute and been sharing a lot of stories because I do take him home because we live almost in the same area, and there's times I want to put him in a headlock while I'm driving. If I do that, the cop might pull us over and think he might be doing something different.
Me and my wild shenanigans, you know. Just gotta beat the OC out of me, you know. One great thing that Jeff and our good coach Adam has taught you as when you grow up in OC, sometimes you need to get the little OC beaten out of you a little bit.
Yeah.
It does you a lot of good, you know.
Now
let's get into that.
Yeah, he shattered my nose as a young 18-year-old kid, so he definitely beat the OC out of me.
Now, how'd this happen? I mean, you're squaring off.
Just
elbows,
sparring, and it was
wow.
He said it was a knee, but I got hit with his shin, but I also ducked into it, so you know.
Oh, one of those things. Wow. Damn, you kickboxers. You know, I was always been a boxer in my life, you know, and hitting the bag and swinging the arms, and never was a big fan of kickboxing because I was never a kicker. But all the guys I sparred with were all these small little dudes, but I'm not saying small, but skinny guys, you guys' size, you know, and kicking me was like a motherfucker. I'm like, dude, that hurts. I know you're wearing your pads on your legs, and that shit hurts. And then there's times I really want to punch you really hard because that hurts. I'm not for any boxers out there that are getting ready to spar with kickboxers or guys in the MMA world. Make sure they wear pads, and make sure you're wearing pads yourself, because I thought I was He-Man and not wear pads at all, and I can take the hits because no problem. I can take the kicks because my legs are like tree trunks.
Oh no, that shit will take you out. You get used to it, unfortunately, but it takes a while.
Yeah, because one of my best friends, he used to walk around with a bamboo stick. I'm not saying I was raised in the jungles, but the bamboo stick he used to beat his own legs to build up that strength.
So he's doing the old school martial artist. So I grab the stick.
One of my Cambodian friends, and I'm not trying to say that he's my best friend forever. I'm not trying to say Cambodians walk around all day with sticks. No, I'm just saying it happens, and my boy did it. And he was a great MMA kickboxing fighter back when he was young. And I was like, dude, why do you do that? I never did it myself, but I thought it was crazy. But now I know why.
Well, there's the old Thailand style of kicking down banana trees. And then there's the Tony Ferguson crazy-ass style of I'm going to kick a pole.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
well, I'm going to kick...
I wouldn't ever do that.
I'd rather kick a banana tree.
I like the white bag we have at our gym. What's wrong with just doing that?
The really, really hard one?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's there's nothing wrong with that. You bust out a cool 50 on that, and on each leg, and... or maybe as much as you can handle, and you don't need to kick poles. Why?
I've also seen dudes kick until their shins bleed on that bag. So
that's true.
Geez.
That's true. I've also seen that, and that's a brutal bag.
I mean, I could talk for that. I mean, there's times where I never wrapped my hands and went on full on knuckles in the bag, and not realizing towards the end of the day, you're like, yo, what the heck, it happens.
You got the scars to show.
I mean, you see the scars. Yeah, I mean, you see, this is real, it's not fake.
Weren't you also a bare knuckle, when you first started training, believed in that a little bit? I remember us talking about having some stories. Talk about hitting the bags with no wraps.
No, I don't believe in that. Okay.
Who was it that said that? Somebody in our gym said that, I
may
think.
have done that, but I had a friend who was a boxer who used to, he told me he used to put towels on a tile wall, and he would that was the only padding. So first it started with two towels on there, and he would punch just straight punches on this wall, and then he eventually got it down to just one towel, which is a millimeter of thickness anyways.
Yeah.
Still same thing, and then now he is at the point where he's just punching the wall.
Just tile.
Yeah, just tile.
God.
Which I don't want to do that either.
A lot of therapy there.
You ever heard Coach's story about like his first boxing glove experience? Or like, I remember one time I was in it was during the pandemic. I remember Coach was telling stories, and like he was telling stories about during the Zoom call of like home training and all that. And one of them, he's just like, my first like boxing gloves was basically I put on my mom's oven mitts.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, he just put the duct tape on the wall and just made a padding on the wall and just went to town.
So, so a lot of people that really know you, or maybe not know you out in the live podcast world. What got you into the fight game? How old were you, and what got you started? What made you decide, hey, one day I'm going to start kicking people's asses?
So funny story. I got convinced to wrestle by a friend who later quit like 2 months later, but I stuck with it, and then I ended up watching not the first Ultimate Fighter, but I remember the first Ultimate Fighter I watched was the finale was John Jones. I think it was John Jones, Matt Hamill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's with the 12-6 elbow.
Yes.
And that, for whatever reason, I started seeing, oh, there's double legs, there's single legs, all this, and I was like, all right, I think I can do this. And then at 16 or 15 or 16, I told my mom, oh, when I turn 18, I'm going to start fighting MMA, which, of course, Mama goes, no, you're not. No. I go, okay, well, okay, I will, though. But then turned 18 and just walked into a UFC gym first and then got sent over to Sub Fighter. So I think my first fight was at 19 after that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was that experience having your first fight at 19?
Oh, that was a horrible fight for me. I got choked in 50. I hit in the mouth and went, I'm shooting, and then got choked in 50 seconds. So horrible experience. But
it's a learning lesson.
I did it again. So clearly it wasn't that bad.
No, like I said, a lot of people would just stop and give up, say, no, this ain't me. I'm just going to go ahead and sell flowers and do hair and makeup. I mean, that's what I do now. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, but hey, that's good. And keeping up with the whole now what's basically your daily routine when you get up in the morning? What do you do? Are you either working out, or you have a normal job, then you go work out, or what's happening with that?
Usually I'll go and train some clients, and then I'll go and either lift after that or just train clients all morning and then go and train myself at one of the pro classes that we do.
Nice.
But generally 12:30 I always train with the pros. We do that Monday through Friday.
Wow.
And then yeah.
And where's this gym located, so people may want to come check you out?
Laguna Hills, right off of Lake Forest and Peralta, I believe.
Oh,
I've been there for 6 years. I should know that.
So you're down the street from the Hat, and there used to be the old what's it called, that little girly club down the street they tore down.
Captain Creams.
Oh, I can tell you stories about that place, but I will leave that for a different show. I mean,
that's for Gym Crashers After Dark.
After dark, that'll be me by myself with a little light, and
I'll be on a different YouTube channel, maybe even a different website.
my own channel.
His own.
But yeah, the Hat, man, I love the Hat. We're just down the street from there.
I still go there every once in a while and get some chili cheese fries.
That is like
so
the one
huge.
I feel like the tough part of our gym is like when you get out, you've had a good workout, and then there's so many good food places driving off the freeway.
Right next to it,
and what's so sad, they got rid of Peppino's, my favorite Italian joint that was right there in the corner, that little shop.
Yeah.
It was the Peppino's. Now it's not there anymore. It's like it's gone. After the pandemic, it was just like, peace out.
Well, that guy owns. My dad told me about this because he used to love Peppino's, but I guess that guy during COVID just refused to shut down.
Really?
Yeah, and got put on the news and all this stuff.
Oh, so that's what happened.
Something like that.
Because I know they have another Peppino's up Foothill Ranch, and that's closed down too. So, very sad. It was a great Peppino's. If any fans of Peppino's, please open up again. I love that place. I know.
Now, you've been away from our fun little home in Sub Fighter in Laguna Hills, down at a fun place called Jackson Wink for 2 months. Yeah. Tell us about that experience.
So originally, I was only supposed to go there for a month, and then found out it's dirt cheap in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So ended up getting a Uncle Biden stimulus check. And
thank you, Joe. Supporting fighters.
Just to keep staying there for another month, but it was awesome. I mean, I was training along UFC fighters, Bellator fighters, ONE FC.
Wow.
I think there's a PFL guy somewhere in there.
You mind dropping some names of who you're training with?
Oh, there's a lot of people I don't even remember their name because there's so many fighters in there.
The guy that fought
Aaron
last week.
Pico?
Aaron Pico.
I know
was
you had a
there,
story
yeah.
about him.
Aaron Pico will try to break your ribs. But he's a cool guy. But he does like to spar, and I kind of appreciate that because we're known for sparring really hard at Subfighter. So
Yeah.
when I go there, they're all kind of flowing around and they're moving together. They're probably doing the smart sparring. And so I'm kind of like, wait, when's the
Yeah, when do we punch each other in the face?
Yeah, when's the hard sparring? They go, what are you talking about? That's it. I'm like, oh.
Wait, what?
Okay, well, apparently California's known for sparring really hard. So it makes sense that Aaron Pico came from
Even I'm
California.
confused when you were describing this. I was just like, wait, when? Like, you don't just show up to sparring and you don't have to worry about getting knocked out? Like, this is wild. Ooh. Oh, you got to hear our main man of the show a lot better, you know?
There you go.
They don't. They hear me and Joey every week, you know? We're here for you, Jeff.
Did you get your write your name inside the kitchen?
Oh, I didn't actually do that. And it's funny enough, I was trying to find, because Adam Lynn, our coach, sent me there, because he used to train there back in the day, but I didn't know they had an old gym that they used to run, and then they closed that one down and opened a new location. But I should have signed the kitchen wall. I didn't, though.
Did they tell you what that building used to be?
I think they said it was a prison.
It was a...
Or an FBI?
FBI?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you see that little podcast room they have on the second floor?
No. Funny enough, I was actually staying in the women's dorms downstairs, so I didn't go.
Downstairs in the corner, right? In the
Yeah,
backside.
exactly.
You just built that though, isn't it nicer?
It is, because I only had to have one roommate while everybody else has four. Or three. It's 4 people to a room. They have 3 roommates.
Ooh, stinky.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, oh
All
yeah.
stinky fighters. But, oh well. So, where's...
Didn't you meet an interesting cast of characters while staying in these dorms?
Oh. I already know what you're talking about. You're right. Yeah, there was an amateur fighter. I'm not going to say his name, obviously, but he never... I never watched him... Never saw him train once. And... he would go and hit the bag, and sure, he knew how to throw punches and all that, but never took any classes, never learned or anything. But apparently got mad at me because I was asking him if he was going to train tomorrow, which I don't know why that pissed him off. I thought the teammates would ask people
That's
that,
pretty
right?
normal. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly. And so got pissed off and was like, hey, man, I don't need you worrying about what I'm doing. Why don't you whatever? And then,
Wow.
yeah, and then one thing led to another, and he somehow wanted to fight me in a professional fight, even though he's an amateur and had like 1 or 2 fights. I don't know what it was.
Can
But
that
yeah,
be
was
even
a-
sanctioned? Because you have 4, or what?
Well,
You
no, it would
a-
have to be pro. It
Yeah.
could absolutely be sanctioned, but I just
Yeah.
offered. I said there's a cage right outside if you really feel a certain
Yeah.
type of way. I didn't feel any type of way about him, but apparently I pissed him off. So
Yeah. Hey, it's good training, I guess, right? You know, go get into a quick street fight with the amateur.
they have good burritos. I mean, to be honest with you, I was not being from Southern California. Obviously, with all the great Mexican food, they kept saying it's New Mexican food. Which they can't
Oh.
because they understand they can't call it Mexican food because they
Yeah.
put green and red chili on everything.
Oh.
Which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at the Christmas chili. It's pretty good.
Oh, really? Wow. That's
So
good.
mix green and red together. It's Christmas chili.
Sounds like churro to me. That means churro in English is diarrhea.
Oh, probably.
Now, speaking of food,
Elevator. They
You didn't even know about
maybe
this.
I didn't even know about the elevator.
elevator?
Yeah, there's an elevator. When you walk in the front area, past the door on the right side, there's an elevator gets to the second floor.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
It's been broken for a while. Like,
I think they might have fixed it then.
I
They
don't know,
might
I've
have
been
fixed
there,
it.
I don't know, 2 summers, 2018, 19, last time I've been.
Yeah, they've been doing. Even when I was there, they were doing a bunch of renovations and stuff. They were fixing everything up and.
It's funny because the guy who does all the work owns half that building. People don't even know that.
Oh yeah, doesn't he own part of the dorms?
He owns half
Something like
building.
that.
He's
Oh,
a
okay.
partner. So Winklejohn is kind of like a big investor. He owns a shit ton of like
Yeah.
strip malls and property and shit.
Okay.
So the guy who fixes that building, can't remember his name. His name Jim or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But he used to help Winklejohn on all these other projects. So they went into that new building together. Apparently. From my understanding.
The retired FBI building.
Oh man, that's scary.
don't you also have in some food stories out there of, because whilst also out there pursuing your, fight career and developing your skills, you obviously didn't have much time to work, so money got tight at times.
Oh yeah.
Don't you have some fun, interesting food stories of just trying to make it by while in Albuquerque?
I'm gonna tell you right now, top ramen tastes like broke, and I ate a lot of that. But also, I'll coin this right now. Well, I have to thank Free Love for this, but there's the millennial diet, aka the warrior diet, aka what I call it, the broke diet, where you just eat one meal a day. And generally, it's not going to be anything healthy or whatever, because you're just trying to put calories into yourself at that point. But yeah,
we've all been there. It's the college kid diet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's basically
eggs
it.
and top ramen. You're good.
Yeah. My favorite stories of like when you were just telling us in our group chat of like you all like being out there was like the I think the crumb story, where you were just like eating crumbs one day because this is all you had.
Oh
like,
yeah, I had a bag of chips or something. They're all crushed up because they were at the bottom of a drawer, and I'm just dumping crumbs into my mouth.
That's really sad.
It's all right.
I love these stories. Like
I know, but coming from a guy that just recently had surgery about 3 or 4 months, 5 months ago, and now I eat things this small now and I'm full. Where I'm thinking like, dude, when I was big and huge and fat, it was just like I can't imagine just eating crumbs.
Well, when you don't eat all day, your stomach definitely shrinks.
Yeah.
So it was enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
drink enough water, you're good.
I mean, I was so fat I couldn't even blink my own eyes. My skin was still stretched. I was like this all day. Now I can blink.
Well, the thing that I love,
I can blink. Look at that. I can see my own pee-pee too. I'm like, look down, like, hello. I mean, shit.
Well, I don't know about that, but you look a lot better.
Well, thanks. I mean, honestly, hello. But still, but crumbs. I mean, next time you go out there, maybe I'll send a package out, a box for you or something.
Also, that was partly me just being too lazy to walk to the store because I didn't bring a car and could have gone to the store and bought more top ramen, but just decided not to.
Well, it's all a part of the journey, The reason I wanted you to tell those stories is obviously like for our viewers and anybody who's maybe younger, anybody who just is considering chasing their dreams, giving 100% and investing in themselves and the things that they want to do because as a guy who works a normal 9 to 5, like average everyday job, like, and who works there with guys who are probably going to be there, who don't have much more outside of that, it's like you see these guys that work 9 to 5 and it's soul crushing, maybe they have other passions, maybe things they wanted to pursue, but they just didn't have the right avenues or whatever factor to motivate them to pursue that. But there's something to respect in your journey, in those stories of, when you do have those world titles, when you do have those successes, when you do have everything that you've been working for and that you on this journey and this path for, you're going to remember and be grateful for and remember those moments, and it's going to be really, I think, inspiring to others who've been able to watch.
Well, don't respect it too much because I did that to my own damn self.
Yes, you did. You 100% did. But
I decided to stay and learn some more but I will love it. I love it now that it's over, and I still have those lessons from it.
That's crazy. Now, it's funny because when I create this whole flyer for this show, and I had a couple of some of my wrestling buddies or some fans that know me from the wrestling shows I do, because I used to do a lot of ring announcing. People had, when they saw that picture, they're like, dude, is that, wait, because people said, is that CM Punk? Do you get that sometimes?
I have gotten that a few times.
I kid you not, because you honestly.
I just got to tape my arms up.
Yeah.
It's so good. I see it now. I didn't see it at first, but I can see it now with the shaved head.
Because people thought, honestly, like, you haven't CM Punk this year? I should have said, oh, yeah, to all your friends.
The one that never that gets me, that I've heard people say to you that doesn't make sense in my mind, is like Conor McGregor look-alike.
Oh, well, that
like,
was
what?
when I had a beard.
Yeah, I can see the beard.
Yeah, and the longer hair,
longer
like,
beard.
it was mildly, but I was just like, no.
Well, I agree. I don't think I look like CM Punk either.
I think your fighting twin, honestly, out of everybody, will still be the Florida boy, AJ Agazarum, or Agarum. Like, you and that dude are twins, my guy. Like, come on. Like, you can't even argue with me.
Picture right here.
Yeah, I wish.
But, funny enough, you mentioned CM Punk. He announced my last fight.
No way.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, that's cool. Now, where was this fight? Where did this fight take place?
It was for Cage Fury in Philly.
Oh wow, Philly.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did you have Philly?
Absolutely, absolutely, I did.
One day I want to go to Philly and just have a sandwich.
I remember that trip because the whole time Free Love was just like, I had to hear stories of Free Love geeking out about the city of Philadelphia And
Oh,
just
yeah.
like historical sites
Of
of him being
course.
his Indiana
But that
Jones
was cool
self.
though, because he took me on a tour and told me a whole bunch of historical facts about the city. And
Do you
all that,
remember
so-
any of them, Jeff?
Yeah, I remember the oldest street in Philadelphia or old Pennsylvania, whatever it is. The oldest street down there. It's a cobblestone, and people still live in those houses.
Cool,
Which
what's
is
it
insane
called?
To me, dude, come on. I get hit in the head a lot.
Gotcha.
Did you see Rocky's statue? They take it down already.
I did. Yeah. No. It's
Oh
there.
wow! Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's still there. But
I know
it was
they
there when
moved
was
it.
there.
I know it was before it was the
Yes.
center, and then he moved it like the
Yeah.
same area, but they moved it like across the way.
It's basically right to the right of the stairs.
Yeah, yeah.
Which.
Wow, that must have been awesome to see.
Oh yeah, it was cool.
Oh, I'll be a kid too, man.
Didn't
Just,
you also meet some like significant fighters from the area while I was there? Like some pretty known names.
I'm trying to think, who did I meet out there? I
I
don't know.
believe I remember Philip telling us
Freelove
of
geeked-
Calvin.
yeah.
Like geeking in front of Calvin Cater.
Cater was definitely there. He was
Where you
cornering one of his
completely
buddies.
fanboyed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him, but also I think I was on the way to weigh-ins and I was so hungry that I was like, I don't give a shit who that is right now.
Yeah.
But
Especially for how big you were at the time. Like you were pretty much coming in with some good size into that fight, I believe.
I cut 20 pounds at least every time. But I probably shouldn't say California State Athletic Commission. You didn't hear that.
No.
Nope.
That audio clip you just heard, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
no
you
numbers.
didn't hear that.
No,
I
you
didn't
didn't hear
anything.
that.
I was just getting high, you know.
Yeah, I was just-
But you go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, that Philly was awesome. I mean, fighting out there was definitely one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. I mean, even then they were able to get a crowd somehow, which is
Really?
awesome. Yeah,
Wow.
it's awesome.
Well, I know some states are a lot different. I noticed that when I watch certain basketball games, baseball games, certain, of course, entertainment wrestling shows that are now going back in the public again. They're only allowed a certain amount of fans. There's sometimes they allow the whole shebang. I'm like, how in the hell are you getting away with? Did you watch the Indy 500 this past weekend? The stands were freaking filled with people. I'm like, holy shit!
Well,
this is-
even we could say back to the combat sports world, the Canelo fight of recently, his few fights with like Billy Joe Saunders and I believe that other guy. Oh, I can't remember the last contender before that fight, but like full sold out crowds in Florida and Miami.
So,
like,
so as
Yeah, but that's the Florida never gave any types of shit.
oh no. So back as you know, as you're as a guest, are you loving that feeling now where you're getting a full audience involved and people are cheering, going crazy at anything you're doing, from either jiu-jitsu, cage fighting? I mean, do you love that feel of the crowd, or is it a little different when you have nobody there?
I've actually never had the experience of having nobody there somehow. I fought
Really?
in Iowa, and they went into a lockdown like 3 days before
Oh,
the event,
jeez.
and they still, God bless, I want to say his Mike Goodwin is his name. God bless him. He went to the governor and got them to approve the event and still allowed a 30% crowd at least.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
I mean, I was literally 3 days before the event not knowing if I was going to fight because of course, they don't know. And he figured it out the day before weigh-ins or something like that, that yes, you are going to fight.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
God bless him.
So right now, do you have anything coming up in the near future? Any type of special matches everybody should know about, or who you're preparing to fight, or anything like that?
No, nothing right now. I'm looking for stuff, but unfortunately, during COVID, it's kind of harder to find things. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing back jiu-jitsu. I want to do that. I know they just did it recently. I want to do the High Rollers tournament.
that
I
would be
talked to a
great.
friend
That would be
about
perfect for
but-
you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know, because I know a lot of friends like yourself.
Because I may.
Well, like
I was just-
like people like I know like a good buddy of mine, Mark Pacquiao. I know he was supposed to have a fight. I think it was supposed to be 2 months ago, but everything got closed down. Now I think he's going to fight. I think this month or next month for a title, and then from there I think he's going to go pro after that. Because Mark Pacquiao, the guy is a beast. Love that guy too. And just I feel sorry for a lot of you guys that are trying to make it huge, and it's just this whole year or year and a half just took everything away from everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, I was fortunate to fight twice during COVID.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, which is awesome.
I do
I
feel
shouldn't be
like.
bragging about that for all the other fighters.
Hey, that's your experience, and that's how it went for you, and that's your journey. So you can talk about it freely. And I also do agree with you. I think the High Rollers tournament is perfect for you, especially with the rule set. And as a guy who may or may not have allegedly have rolled with you while you were imbibed, and know you can still, I know you can still have a very high level grappling, and high level game.
High being the operative word. Yeah.
High being the very, very important adjective here.
Oh, speaking of high, no.
Speaking of high,
I mean, the stuff I do.
again, that's for Gym Crashers After Dark.
That's me all day.
That's tune in for Joey.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but believe me, it's going to be fun, folks. I'm going to have everybody on my show from little people to drag queens that are actually MMA fighters. I mean, that's why I talked about part of our show here is that's one day I want to do. I want to get people that are out of the ordinary, like people that are either small, drag, that are actually fighters, and put them on the show because you don't see that.
That bare knuckle box. I forget his name, but the bare knuckle boxer. I don't know the right word for that, but drag queen, I guess.
Yeah, but don't disrespect. We know where we come from. We're not. I've been hitting the head a lot, but you understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, I like to introduce people because a lot of people in the fight world don't understand. There's people that are this small, this tall, that maybe dress in dresses and are out there fighting, and that's what I like to put on the show so people can recognize that this fight game is a worldwide thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's only tough dudes with freaking tattoos and, all that shit. It's just, we're all fighters.
True. And there are entire cultures that are based around it.
Yeah.
Like Myanmar and Thailand and places like that are entirely based around their national combat sport.
Oh, yeah. I mean, have you seen the videos of the Incas? The ladies that dress in the colorful dresses and they're boxing each other. Those fights are crazy. I've watched videos of a big old ring and this crowd of people from that, I think it's Peru. They just hop in the ring. Whoever's next. And they just go knuckle with their Sunday's best on, and they're fighting each other until the next one comes on board. I love it.
My favorite, random internet fact meme that I ever saw was, apparently there's some village, I think Latin America, where they have a special day for if, you've been just having a beef with anybody in your village. You all you scrap it out in a circle bare knuckle style and to see who gets knocked out, and then you all get just basically drunken shit faced after to bond, and then it's over. The beef is over and you're friends after because you just fought and now you're drunk together. Now you're friends.
And that's the way it should be nowadays.
That's how life should be.
I mean, it's all these people that honestly, people that do this pat. To me, in my eyes, are all a bunch of fucking pussies. If you can't take a knockout and take an ass kicking. Hey, that's not my fault, but you know what? Get up the next day, start training yourself. Maybe next time you fight, maybe you'll win. But there's no need to pull out the gun to show how badass you are and start.
We're a big believer in guns down, gloves up. You
have a right to protect yourself, but when it comes down to if I have a fist my going,
if we got some beef, let's just get in the ring, let's settle it out. Nobody needs to die nowadays.
Okay, so back to Jackson Wink because in New Mexico
they carry.
They all,
I can imagine.
I all power to them, but I'm walking to the store. This is right before I left. I'm walking to the store. I come out. They have a security guard in the store because clearly there's a lot of reason for that. But this guy walks up. He's got a rag on his leg, and I should have second glanced this, but apparently I was just so desensitized to it. But he's walks up to the security guard, goes, "I need you to call an ambulance." And this guy's homeless. He's on something for sure. But he goes, "I need you to call me an ambulance. I got shot in the leg." And then just sits down on the floor and just is waiting. He's like, "Yeah, we're good." I'm like, and it hit me 2 minutes after I'm walking down the street that I was like, why didn't I think that was weird?
Well, it depends where you grew up. I mean, like I said, I grew up and was raised in Santa Ana all my life. So you used to hearing gunshots and everything. As a kid growing up, you go down the street, there's a dead body. Oh, there's somebody got hit over here. And you're used to that. And when you hear that shit, where I live now in Lake Forest up by Foothill Ranch, it's quiet. It's a nice neighborhood. If somebody gets hit, everybody's like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Oh, he's okay."
People will just assume it's a firework or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I have the ring cam, and that's all you see on all the notices. That was just a coyote. That was a coyote. Something crazy, a firework. Oh, no, that was a gunfire. I can hear that, but you could tell the difference. But yeah, people freak out. Me, if I see somebody oh, well, poor guy. All right, now walk away. Or people just "Oh, my God." Whatever.
That's how you got to be.
Just the way you were raised, I guess.
Everyone's different.
I mean, I grew up in pretty much the same area that you live now, but still, again, back to New Mexico. The reason I think I was so desensitized to it at that point was that I went out to a restaurant with some of the buddies out there, and they're playing loud music. Well, let's be honest, it was a bar. But they're playing loud music, so I didn't hear anything. But the next day, we found out that place somebody shot at. I don't know if they actually killed him or anything or hit him, but shot at somebody right outside the door.
Wow.
And I was like, how did I not notice
How did you not?
Like
No, how did nobody duck?
nobody noticed.
How
We
did
were on the other
everybody's
side
all
of the
dancing and stuff? Like people are like they're letting up shots in there. They're like somebody drops. Like, oh, all right, another Tuesday in Albuquerque.
I don't know. I didn't even notice.
You can come outside, there's a big old draw into the bite like this.
That's one of my favorite things about you, Jeff. Just nerves of steel.
No,
Just,
I wouldn't
you
say
know.
that. I'm oblivious.
You know, yeah, you're right. I think, you know, like you've been, like I said, I've been hitting a lot, and of course, you've been.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just that when you think about things, you don't. It's just kind of just, yeah, you're oblivious. You're like, okay, all right, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it wasn't me.
wasn't me. I'm good.
I'm good.
Selfish way of thinking, but that's okay.
Honestly, I mean, it's
That's
not being,
okay.
and it's funny because my wife tells me the same thing, baby. Like, I go, yeah, I do care, but it's like, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know that guy.
I don't know.
I don't
Like,
know
I mean,
him.
there's a
Yeah.
little tear, but that's it. I mean, it sucks, but oh well.
Yeah, I'm not
Wasn't
gonna
us.
lie. As a person who's seen some gnarly stuff in my lifetime and all that, and can deal with stuff, like, yeah, you get to a point where you're like, hey, life's got to go on. You're like, I got stuff I need to take care of. Yeah, I'm sad about that person, but I also got 20 other things I need to take care of on top of it too. So
Well,
I
plus
wish the best for them. I got to go take care of my stuff.
Well, plus this girl that he talked to in Texas, they almost got arrested for, not
Let's
realizing how
not.
old she
Hey,
was.
hey.
He was peeping some. I wasn't there,
Let's calm that down.
but there was a girl that he was peeping out, trying to get her number, get her number, and the lady comes around saying, "What did she tell you?"
Oh, well, I was trying to talk to a young lady, asking her number while we were in Texas, and
You maybe
invite
should
her.
ask her age first.
Yeah, that's where I should have. Yeah, and just like as I'm starting this conversation, her coworker behind her just hops in and a great Southern accent of like, "She's jailbait, honey," and I'm just like, and that's a good answer. And I walked out of the restaurant and went.
And he's like, "Well, I didn't recognize her braces and her BTS T-shirt on." And her school ID hanging from her pocket.
The viewers have heard this story enough. Nothing
She's
happened.
Still wearing her middle school T-shirt.
And you see Chris Hansen walk in, and I'm Chris Hansen from Cats of Predator. Why is those wine coolers?
Adam, take a seat.
Take
We're
a
gonna
seat.
talk right now with this
We gotta talk.
clipboard.
You gotta have a conversation, huh? So you never came back from this trip from Texas. You were out there for a while. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Hey, that's another state. They'll just shoot you for that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they will.
right.
They'll shoot you for real.
Especially considering we were passing through like near that Mexican border. There was a lot of places where we could have gotten shot at if we were to pass through the wrong area.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
You
But
can
it will
blend
be
in.
fine. We
You can
just
blend
we
in.
Just
leave
keep your
people
head down.
alone.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, we don't
Just
mess
got to
with
change
nobody.
your name a little bit. They call you, hey, Pinche Güero. That's my name. Ese. Call me white boy. But anyway, let's talk about the news. Is it time to talk about the news?
I believe it is time to get into the news here.
Let's talk
Let's talk about this fun YouTuber combat sports boxing that was just recently announced of
Woodley.
Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
You have the flyer of that in the background,
You know,
sir.
if you want to throw that up for us, Robert,
Now,
we have a great fighter here, a guy who has
Why?
boxed
You know-
plenty of times in his life and has put in his time and experience in
Would-
some boxing gyms. What are your thoughts on this, Jeffrey the Gentleman Malore?
All I
You
have
good,
to
you
say
good.
is why. Why?
Money. And
kn-
clout.
I know, but all I want is that A, this doesn't happen, and B, they both stop rapping.
They both stop rapping.
You know what?
That is my favorite opinion that I've heard of all of this is that,
God.
yeah, especially that last part of they both stop rapping. Well, actually, no. Tyron Woodley, I feel like if he took time, he could develop a half decent EP or song or feature, maybe.
No.
I don't know,
As
man. I'm a
another
positive
man
guy.
who
I
has
like
been
to.
hit in the face a lot. I don't think he's quick enough on his toes for that.
I don't think either. You know, like,
Yeah,
he
and-
was even a stand-up at one point. And I was just like, how would that go? I feel like most people. I don't know. I'm like, I just don't imagine T. Woodley as the guy to be cracking, a whole lot of jokes and to be making a whole room laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
And somebody had to like sit me down and put me out a little bit because I'm not a big fan of these Paul guys. To me I think, excuse my French, I think they're all a fucking joke when it comes to the fight game. They're making the fight game a big joke. Have some respect. Yeah, I get it. You're all fighting fucking a bunch of soup cans, and you're all fighting no names. And yeah, you're knocking them out. Ooh, but I don't know, man. I'm really rooting for Woodley on this one. I know. I mean, he has videos of him back in the day. Hitting the pads super fast.
hey, well,
Oh yeah. Well,
as we were looking at it in the show before, Floyd Mayweather just extended, the keys to come and train with him in his camp in Vegas. He was inviting him. He's saying, "Hey, I'll train T Woodley to beat that other Paul brother."
I just don't get it, man. I mean, yeah, a lot of the younger generations are loving this. All the young kids that are
I
on
love it.
YouTube, and this guy over here, they're like, oh my god, I can't. But me, I just don't care about that shit. I don't care about. I love real people that come up in the fighting game and get to have the big show.
Well, as a counterpoint, as somebody who's,
Okay.
I would say, more on the side of these social media stars to promote combat sports. The thing that I enjoy about it, especially as being known as like the fight analyst guy and the fight MMA media guy here, is the fact that I'm having conversations with people who are not even interested in combat sports at all, but now they're getting this newfound interest because Jake Paul is a recognizable name. These guys are recognizable names. It's interesting. It's flashy. It's the cool thing to be into. It's the thing to be talked about. And so the thing that I really like about, although it's like, it's not as good as a product, I will say. Like, no, you're not going to see the most high-level fights. You're not going to even see anywhere near. These guys are, what's the Marvin Hagler quote of you can't, like, go into a ring in there while waking up in silk sheets? Yeah, you're not going to have the same dog as a guy like my guy here, Jeffrey the Gentleman Malore, eating bags of chips down in Jackson Wink, on a shoestring budget. Versus somebody who's like a YouTuber who gets to wake up and can DM any girl and just have all these creature comforts. It's a different type of life, and I don't know if like these guys are necessarily fighters, but just by the fact that they're at least imitating fighters, they're promoting the game. They're getting people who don't have an interest, who aren't familiar with it. They're getting them familiar with it and getting them interested in it.
And I understand that. And yeah, they're making the money off their YouTube money and TikTok money. And that's the reason why they get to relax at home all day and then train whenever they want. Yeah. For people like me that have to work from, whatever to 5 o'clock and don't have the opportunity. Like I told myself, if I had that opportunity a long time ago where I was doing YouTube videos, yeah, I'll live off that money and train all day. But I was a working man. I had to take care of my daughter at the time when she was when she was born. And I mean, honestly, I could have been out there boxing, doing my thing. But the problem is you get these young guys that are just have the time to train. They have all the time to take all the pills and vitamins and say they're Prager's brother and all that shit, but they make me sick. I don't know. I'm just really hoping that both those brothers get their ass kicked. That's.
Oh yeah. I don't want them to get seriously injured, but I want to see them get seriously embarrassed.
Embarrassed, exactly.
I think that's what's important here.
Because the boxing is not a game, and I forget who said this, but eventually, if they keep fighting, I believe eventually they will possibly get either brain damage or could die.
I think that's the thing with like if you look at just the way their behavior, that is kind of a worry. Like that, at least I have for. Honestly, both Paul brothers, more Jake's more so than Logan. Because I would say I think Jake kind of is the more talented of the two and probably spars a little bit more. But you can kind of see, like, I feel like that's a dude that's probably taking some hits and was kind of already a little screwy in the head. And I don't think taking all those types of hits helps. Like, to be that, I don't know, to be that successful, that rich, have all that and still be that angsty, like, there's something up with you, dude.
Oh, that's a character. But also, I mean, they're both athletic dudes. They are. They both used to wrestle, I think. I think they both did. I know.
Yes, so they were like both CIF wrestlers, state wrestlers, like not.
Boxer, but
yeah.
But they are athletic, and they have gone out there and obviously beat some chumps, and unfortunately Ben Askren, who I am a huge fan of, but God help you, you should not have boxed.
Why? Why did we ever think he could win that?
No.
It is a little disrespectful to, not a little, it's very disrespectful to a lot of, especially boxers that have definitely put in the time,
the work,
put in the work,
blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they're at. Where these guys just, we're here already, and it's like, right? I mean, and I get where you're coming from, Adam. I get, they're bringing up the new crowd, the younger folks are like, oh yeah, we love boxing now. I get it, I give you that, but what he was saying, blood, sweat, and tears. We have a lot of guys downstairs in this gym right now that are working their asses off and train every day to get where they want to be right now. And it just sucks.
Interesting background.
It just sucks. It sucks the fact that you have these guys because they have money and they have all this bullshit. It's just, I'm with him. I'm with him on this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he talked all this shit. Well, he's on Twitter talking about, well, my cars are worth more than you. And then during the interview today, he says, well, if you beat me, I'll double. What did he say? Double?
He'll double his purse if he beats him. And then, but if
he should.
Or if he loses, And but if Jake wins, then Tyron has to give up his purse to Jake's charity.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
So he's kind of copying the Poirier McGregor
A
beef.
little bit, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
a
little
little, like just kind of poking the bear. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting press conference because I did watch a little bit of it and catch some of those highlights. And I do think
avoided
just
it,
by
like,
the fact that, like, he is in his face and he has that level of confidence, I think Jake's going to do a little bit better than we expect. Let's get into the Why not, guys? Let's get into a little bit of the X's and O's of this fight. This will be, since I already gave you the breakdown of the upcoming card of this week on last week's show, let's get into the X's and O's of this fight a little bit. What are you guys thinking? Like, personally, I think Tyron Woodley still wins because experience is just something that's way too much to overcome, and just hours in the gym and time put in, on top of it too, like just with those skills and the skill set that Tyron Woodley has, I think it's the perfect kind of even boxing style to counter Jake's style, of just somebody who's got some grit and some power into him, who's gonna not back down from Jake and gonna be able to take a good hit and just really pressure the kid, make him uncomfortable.
So, well, okay, let's put it this way. As Dana White put it, he said, I really hope Tyron Woodley wins, but he is not the same man he was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I hope he wins. I hope Mayweather wins, but neither of those men are who they used to be.
No.
But nobody can disrespect them in any way because they actually did it.
Yes.
But this size difference of Mayweather and whatever Logan, whatever Paul dipshit is fighting, is pretty crazy. But also, correct me if I'm wrong. There's no judges. It's an exhibition.
Yes,
right?
there's no
So
judges.
There's no judges.
For,
So they're technically, unless there's a knockout, there won't be a winner.
For the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight.
Okay.
But also, I believe the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight is under his new Showtime contract. So that is an official pro boxing bout and Tyron Woodley's official pro boxing debut.
Well, I hope Woodley does
So that is an official sanctioned fight.
take that offer from Mayweather and go train with his camp for this fight. I mean, I really hope he does that because, like you said, he's not the same like 4 years ago, and I think once he starts getting the engine going and everything else, I'm pretty sure. This is me saying right now that fight's gonna last one round and Woodley with the win.
I
Woodley
say
with an overhand right.
Oh, and done deal. He's gonna knock that kid out and just send him back to fucking La La Land where he belongs.
I still
Back to
say
Hollywood.
third round. I think Jake can survive at least 2 rounds. I think he can survive 2 rounds. Survive. Not win. Survive.
Now, can we show the next flyer, the next one for the next fight this coming?
Let's not disrespect,
I'm
our
sorry.
guest pick here.
No.
Yeah.
I'm actually more interested in this one.
So
if I'm
this
honest.
Sunday,
You don't even want to give a pick to the Jake Paul.
June 6th.
Yeah.
I said Tyron Woodley.
He did.
Okay.
Tyron
All right.
Woodley.
But what round? What you thinking? We're giving our rounds here.
I'm gonna go with round 2.
Round 2.
Only because I don't know that Woodley's really a fast starter,
Okay.
and it is shorter rounds.
That's true.
Oh, it is. That's right.
I like that point.
So I'm gonna go with round 2 only because he could get knocked down. It's boxing. He could get knocked down and get back up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kid's probably tough. He at least can take a punch. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, he sparred Mike Perry and Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. Earned their respect.
Wow.
He's a
Did
tough
they
little
really
kid.
say that?
Yes.
Oh my God, I respect them less for that now.
That's hilarious.
But I love Mike Perry.
I love Mike Perry too.
Other than the stupid shit he does, but it kind of makes it better.
Yeah, and Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor is a good fighter coming out of Team Body Shop, training under Antonio McKee.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Antonio McKee, I know we're talking about Mayweather, but they're bringing back Knockout Promotions actually on my birthday, June 26th.
Oh,
I'm so
shout
happy
out
they're bringing
to
MMA.
Knockout
There you
Promotions.
go.
I'm so happy they're bringing MMA back to
Me
California.
too.
That
I'm
is
so
awesome.
happy.
Now that things are
I
starting.
finally have something to
opening
do
up
on my
again.
weekends.
There you go. Now, what do you guys think about what's going on here?
Oh, what are we
Shields.
thinking? We got Kalisha Shields versus. Oh, we also have this. Kalisha Shields making her official debut. Former boxing champion, or not former, still current boxing champion, making her transition to MMA in the PFL. Somebody who you actually got to run into down at Jackson Wink.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Clearly did not train with her.
Yeah.
They saw her training. They brought in I don't know the woman's name, and it's disrespectful of me just to call her some Olympian, but some really good Olympic wrestler, and I don't know her name, to help her out. I did not see her do any jiu-jitsu at all, so that's kind of worrying to me.
Oh,
and
wow.
as I know very, very well, distance is much different in MMA than it is in boxing. So I'm a little, I don't know, I'm a little skeptical of this one because
You're skeptical.
I am
Wow.
a little skeptical. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how this could go. It could be a toss-up for me
It's tough.
on that. No disrespect to Shields because she's clearly great at boxing, but it's a different sport.
Well, what
So-
was it like getting to watch her train? You know, like seeing someone that's that level of an athlete and that level at a sport.
Yeah.
What was it kind of like getting to watch from the sidelines somebody make kind of that transition?
Oh, it was cool. It was definitely cool, but I definitely got to see, and I saw her train a lot because I was just in the gym all the time, and what else am I going to do other than watch people train? But got to see a little bit of her. She did pick up a lot. Once she figured out the difference of distance of being able to punch with an MMA glove versus boxing gloves, because they put MMA gloves on her, obviously, to make her hit mitts. So, smart move, but the grappling is just so it's
tough.
scary for
It's
me
some-
for her.
Yeah.
Is the thing, because I believe Elkin's a pretty good jiu-jitsu fighter. I've never seen her fight.
Brittany Elkins is super legit. I think she's still a brown belt. She might be black by now. She's part of Team No Sleep, which is
Okay.
Fight to Win's crew.
Yeah.
She has won Fight to Win belts.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so she's an accomplished grappler.
Yeah,
As Robert just said off camera, she has won multiple Fight to Win titles and is part of what team you said?
Team No Sleep.
Team No Sleep, which has taken, I believe, multiple titles from Fight to Win.
I mean,
and
that's their promotion.
As
Seth-
Robert has put it, that is their promotion.
Seth, her, and a couple other guys. The reason why they call them Team No Sleep is because they constantly, as you know, Fight to Win has a show every week.
Yeah.
And so they got this big truck with their homeboy Q and I mean Mike used to be a part of it, and they just travel in this giant freaking vehicle, like ring, and set up jiu-jitsu promotions. So you'll see Brittany literally setting up the stage,
Yeah.
getting ready,
And then go choke
your
another,
back.
and then go choke somebody out.
So
there.
she'll set up the stage she's about to choke somebody on.
yeah,
That is-
put it away.
Wow, that's crazy.
that's incredible.
I feel like for a jiu-jitsu school, team put you to sleep is probably better.
I
But I respect the team no sleep. That's actually a really
Team
cool
No Sleep
story.
is really,
And
really
there's
cool.
a funny video that's out that Seth got a lot of shit for because he was doing I forgot what instructional tutorial, and he choked her out and then he called her a pussy.
Wow.
Some shit, and Seth got a lot of fucking shit for it.
Jesus.
It was fucking funny. Like if you know Brittany and Seth, then you know what the relationship is.
Oh yeah.
And then it makes
Yeah.
sense. But being a person on the internet that doesn't know either one of them and not know the relationship, it's just like, dude, this dude just choked out a chick and then fucking laughed and made fun of her. Like that's fucked up.
That's funny.
I mean, but I've have teammates that will punch each other in the face and talk shit and go, really? You really let me do that to you? Okay, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the whole shit talking thing. That makes sense to me, but.
I remember one time
yeah.
I walked off the mats and it was just right after I injured my neck, and you walk over and you're just like, you literally right where I was holding my neck, you just go, you need a tampon for your vagina right there. Right in it. And you start drilling right where it hurt.
Damn.
And I just started laughing. I'm like, I love this place.
I am
That's-
kind of a dick. I know that.
That's awesome.
Hey.
I love it. So this fight this Sunday,
Yes.
Mayweather versus the other dickhead.
The Paul brother.
No. Dickhead.
Dickhead.
Exactly.
Logan Paul.
I mean, after the shenanigans they pulled during when his brother took the hat and got his ass kicked by his security team, and
Yeah,
you
that
know,
was not a good
Oh,
look.
that was funny.
That
It was
so
funny. I
hilarious.
mean,
it was so
he
funny,
deserved
but
that
it was
shit.
not a good look.
people are like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, come on, guy's he's stupid. You're gonna take the dude's hat. He has bodyguards probably 10 times bigger than me, or just maybe my size, but yoked out, and they're gonna fuck him up. And that's what happened.
Not only
Floyd-
was his
also-
own company's hat that he took, which is even more disrespectful.
Oh, yeah,
so,
dude.
Well, even what's crazy is like Floyd's a wild dude. Floyd was threatening to kill that kid. He was in. There was cameras, full press. Floyd was running after him, and be like, "I'm gonna kill your ass!" Like just like full, just street dude. He was ready to kill him.
Now I think long as Floyd is gonna take that body out, that's all he has to do is break those ribs. Because I mean, of course, what's his name? He's really tall. So I mean,
Logan
him to hit
Paul.
that face, unless he comes down, yeah, he'll get the chin. But I think he's gonna go for that body and break so many ribs.
You don't think the 50-pound weight difference will play a big factor, especially considering like him
but-
digging into the body?
You gotta realize Floyd, he's gonna be ducking, he's gonna be moving. Yeah,
I'm
they say he's a
aware.
little old, but he's still a little fast. So
Floyd quick,
and then
he's
gonna
gonna
see
have
those
the
long
speed
arms come through.
advantage.
He's gonna whoop 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 whoop, ba-da-da-da, whoop, whoop. He's gonna run around that ring. He's gonna run around the ring a lot during that fight.
He's
And
gonna try to get him to punch himself out for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, oh, yeah.
And then start
going that body and just ba-da-da-da.
At least that's what he probably should do.
He should. I hope.
Just throw overhands, but that's probably not smart. For
No,
him.
no. Just straight body.
Yeah.
Break those ribs. Break those fucking ribs.
I don't know. I think Logan Paul, like I said, will still be able to survive enough. I think that 50-pound weight difference can carry him through to survive at least into the later rounds.
Okay.
I don't know if I feel confident in the decision. I think he gasses out before.
Who?
Logan Paul.
Oh, okay. I might say.
Dickhead, as you both put it.
Yes.
And but I don't think it's like this embarrassing knockout that he's gonna we're gonna see this crazy highlight reel. I think you're gonna see what happens when a bigger guy who doesn't have as good cardio, as much experience, as much boxing training versus a literal defensive master who's gonna tire a big guy out.
But because it is an exhibition, is it 2-minute rounds? Just like Mike Tyson's
This is a
company
good
that does
question.
exhibitions?
I believe the rule set has just came out, and I can bring
2-minute
those up
rounds
right
actually
now.
could help out whatever
Paul.
brother.
Yeah, whatever Paul brother is. You know what's going to happen? He's going to lose, and he's going to be like, I'm okay still, man. But you know what? Who know I'm fighting next? McGregor.
Oh, he already tried.
can
One of them
find-
tried doing that.
I'm like, geez,
started
dude.
offering him $1 million for a fight or something like
Well,
that.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. We have I have the rules right here.
Oh.
No winners and no judges. Perhaps the biggest news is that there won't be a winner declared at the end of the fight. As such, there's no need for judges either. Knockouts allowed. With no official winner, there could still be a stoppage. This could either come by knockout, which is legal, or at the referee's discretion. 3-minute rounds, 12-ounce gloves, no headgear. Weight limits. The reason the fight is an exhibition instead of an official match is due to the vast weight difference between the two men. However, there will still be limits set, as Paul, 26, revealed this week, will have to step into the ring at a maximum of 190 pounds or face a $100,000 fine for every pound he goes over.
Oh, never mind. I was
By
gonna
contrast, Mayweather, known as the greatest pound-per-pound fighters of all time, is expected to tip the scales at 160 pounds on Sunday, which would be a career high for the 44-year-old. And like I said, 12-ounce gloves, no headgear.
Well, I'll be watching this fight somewhere on streaming on somebody's Facebook channel when they have it live on Facebook. There it is. Until they pull it up and go to somebody else's page.
Yeah.
I'm not spending all that money.
Watch on whoever sends the link first in our group chat.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
A Fire Stick or something.
Or
We got
whoever.
friends out there, just
if
send us
somebody somehow figures out the
Yeah,
FaceTime
somebody
chat there.
Instagram
Somebody
Live.
there.
somebody
Somebody
might
please.
get it on there. TikTok does that sometimes too. I'm like, well, I was watching TikTok one day and I was like, oh shit, it's the fight.
You know what's the funniest thing I've ever seen, which I hope somebody does this, is this dude was streaming, I don't know if it was a boxing fight or an MMA fight, but he was streaming it on YouTube, and he's holding a controller with a headset acting
UFC,
like he
it was
playing-
UFC.
Yeah, I
Alright,
remember
so
this,
acting
yeah.
like he was playing the UFC,
He's like-
and they kept it on there for...
It was
Oh my
Twitch.
God,
it
that's
was
really good.
yeah, I do remember because it was a
Somebody do
Twitch
that.
stream.
Somebody
Yeah.
needs to do that.
Yeah, it was a Twitch stream. So
So-
on Twitch, because it's a gaming platform, that's the reason he had the controller and all that. So he
Wow.
tricked the algorithm by just showing oh, I'm just a normal streamer playing UFC 3, you know.
Now
And
fans,
just really
fans
good
of the show, we're
quality.
not telling you to do this, but it's a
Don't.
good idea.
But
'Cause,
it's
you
a
know,
great
gym
idea.
crashers
I'm
don't
not
allow
telling
that.
you.
I'm not a regular host, so I'm telling you to do this.
He can say that. I can't. But definitely,
He's not related to this company in LLC. We are.
the views and
we are
opinions
not
of this guy
including-
belongs to himself.
Belongs to Jeffrey the Gentleman Moore.
I will
But back
answer
to your
that.
coach, is Adam, right?
Adam Lynn.
Great guy. I ran into that guy about 2 weeks ago at Molly's Cafe in San Juan Capistrano. He was out there just chilling, had some breakfast with some folks, and it was nice meeting him. I saw I'm like, you look familiar. Oh yeah, I'm Matt. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, you know, yeah. Like we just kind of shared a little story, and that was it. And it's like, hi, bye. You know, it was like, I mean, you know the bull too much, but it's all good. I said hi. That was it.
I think he knows way too many people.
Yeah.
to know
He does.
everybody.
He really does.
It's like me sometimes. You're like, oh no. Oh yeah, I recognize the face, but no names. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're you know. But real quick before we end there, I'd like to show a picture real quick. I want to give a big shout out to Divana, the Beast. This was this weekend. This girl right here. You gotta follow this girl. This girl is an up and coming. She's trying to become a fighter. She's throwing hands. Her skill of jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. I mean, if you follow her Instagram, that's basically her name right there on my shirt. I mean, she has medals in her closet that go from one end to another. I mean, this girl is actually a beast. And up and coming. I mean, the question we asked her last week, if it was a 10-year-old you and a 10-year-old Ronda Rousey, who would win? She said, with no hesitation, me. This girl is tough. I mean, this girl, and she actually looks up to Ronda Rousey. She does her hair up all with the little cornrows and all that stuff. She goes crazy, but this girl's awesome, man. This girl's, so big shout out to you, the Beast. Can't wait for your next competition. Okay, let's go back to the show, Robert.
So does she do? Where does she train out of actually first?
What's that gym called again?
Orange.
GFT Orange.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. It's a
And
good gym.
yeah, now they have Cesar Macias teaches all the kickboxers there and all that stuff, and they're great coaching staff over there, and it's a great team. And Divana, man, she's an up and coming. That's a girl you got to look out for. And I'll probably save this video, and in 10 years from now, you're gonna see like, oh shit, the bull was right. That's her.
Now, to get into my segment of the bloody breakdown for this week with Jeffrey the Gentleman Malore. Like I said, I already broke down last week's card, on this, or I already broke this week's upcoming card on last week's show. Just Jesus, Joey, keep that on Jim Crashers After Dark. So this week I'm gonna recap on the return of The Ultimate Fighter, a show that has played a big influence on many fighters' careers and just inspired anybody who's a big fan of combat sports, And we're just going to talk about what happened on the return of The Ultimate Fighter. So, I don't know if you watched this week's episode or not yet, Jeff.
Fortunately, not yet.
Not yet.
Not
what
yet.
about you, Joey?
No, I haven't.
All right, so
Sorry.
I'm recapping for this week, and we're going to keep it going. So we have on Team Volkanovski, we have Aaron Phillips, Dustin Lampros, Gilbert Urbina, Mitch Raposos, Brady Heasted, Ricky Tercios, Ryder Newman, and Brian Battle. All very hot prospects, all from different levels and degrees. I believe some of them have, like 10-2 records or 10-3 records, so they have some experienced vets and kind of local regional guys with some up-and-coming hot prospects, especially, I believe, in Brian Battle. On top of it, too, you have for Team Ortega, Andre Petrovsky, Dan Argueta, a guy you actually got to meet down in Jansen Week, I believe, right?
Whatever.
Yeah,
floats your boat.
yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, there's a lot of familiar names on that list actually, but yeah, he was there for like a couple days when I was there at Jackson Wink for the first couple days, but I actually fought one of his teammates too. But
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
They're pretty
Like-
hot, huh?
he said.
Yes, I know.
Miles Hunsinger, Josh Reddinghouse, Trayshawn Gore, Vincent Murdoch, Ludwig Sholinian, and Cameron Lichinov. An interesting group of
Yes,
cast
awesome.
of characters between bantamweights and middleweights. And so for the first fight, you had Aaron Phillips taking on Andre Petrovsky in the first middleweight matchup of the episode. And Andre Petrovsky, the wrestler, the more experienced fighter, I believe he comes out of, I can't remember which camp, but he's a local regional guy out of the Midwest, I want to say, and then who's had a good amount of fights and a great wrestler, but also with some good kind of boxing skills, kind of has that kind of slip around in and out kind of odd angle style. And he just kind of used that to his advantage to basically, use that to close the distance, get the takedown on a great athlete, and actually Aaron Phillips, who is a guy that's like I'm sure you fought plenty of guys like this. A dude who's coming out of Alaska, and a lot of what he's learned has really just been from YouTube, and just kind of one of these guys that's taken on a lot of local, probably amateur fights, and just gets experience wherever he can, just with the little bit of resources that he has. Good blue collar, hardworking guy. And
that is a tough road to take.
It's a tough road, though. Like, that's one of the things, and one of the things why I wanted to recap the Ultimate Fighter specifically is like a guy who's actually up and coming. Do you think you would ever take on a tournament like the Ultimate Fighter?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely I would, but can you even, I guess, yeah, it is a tournament. You're right.
It's a tournament.
It is a tournament. You're right. My bad. I'm just
It's a
thinking of
competition.
Grand Prix tournaments, but absolutely. That would be an amazing experience regardless. I would hate having to live as just living with a massive amount of fighters. It is not the best experience living with a bunch of
Pit bulls.
Pit bulls, yeah. It's
all dogs that want to eat each other.
A lot of them were really great guys, I'm sure. But
yeah.
Let's go back to the let me bang guy.
Julian Lane.
Oh, I love that guy.
Oh, he's the best. He's a bare knuckle boxer now.
Oh.
He fights for BKFC.
They will let him bang.
They will. He's definitely banged in that promotion.
I love bang.
That's been. He's had some wild fights there. Again, save that for Gym Crashers After Dark, Joey.
Sorry.
But getting back to the fight, like, I think one guy, as somebody with your skill set specifically, can comment on this fight. Like, one of the things that I thought was very interesting that you could see, and you see this a lot of, like I said, Aaron Phillips was a great athlete, had a great power and good right hand, but in the fight, you could see as it played out, Andre Petrosky, being a former state champion wrestler and being a high-level wrestler, he just basically used his grappling skill to close that distance and to basically just take it to the ground against a guy who doesn't have much jiu-jitsu experience, if any at all, and got the submission. Now, what can you tell us, as a guy who's been in that similar situation, especially in your amateur career, versus having to fight kind of these guys like that, or these kind of maybe guys who have some talent, but have maybe some athletic ability, but are not necessarily traditionally trained? What is it like, with a similar skill set, being a wrestler who can also box and kind of close that distance to get get to the ground and get the submission? What's it like having a fight like that?
Oh, that's a dream fight. it's. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't discredit experience. I mean, but the guy's probably fought a lot, but at the same time, you can't get a black belt online.
Mm-hmm.
So, good luck. Probably find a team. What I would say.
Unless you go on eBay, you could buy it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can buy a black belt from eBay.
You can buy it.
You can buy it.
But I don't know, man. I would not want to disrespect any of my past opponents, but there are definitely some guys that early in my career that I fought that probably should not have been in there. Maybe they've gotten a lot better now, but it's not fun for either person when because I don't know, I'd rather have two fighters that are evenly matched going at it. So it's not fun for either person in that situation.
I agree.
Or maybe it is because he's beating his ass. I don't know.
That's hot.
I can't quite remember.
I said beating, not eating.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Now, and then for next week, on the next fight of the episode of the Ultimate Fighter, you have Ludwig Shaolinian versus Mitch Raposo. I believe from the skill sets of what I've studied for both fighters, I believe Ludwig is more of kind of the grappler boxer kind of style, and kind of that similar kind of brawler style, with like Shaolinian versus Mitch Raposo being kind of more that kind of well-rounded fighter. One of the things that I like, especially in this competition, of the fighters of what I've seen, I still really, my favorite to take it home out of all the fighters, I'd say, is going to be Daniel Argueta, and of the favorite that I've just seen of Mitch Petrosky, or Andre Petrosky, not Mitch Petrosky. I don't know why I said that.
Argueta was, correct me if I'm wrong, he was the first pick, right?
He was the first pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so he's clearly the favorite.
Yeah, clearly. And especially training under Cub Swanson. Well,
Cub Swanson and Jackson Wink. He travels back and forth, and I think he trains somewhere in like Chicago or something like that too. I don't quote me on that, but
all right. Well, we'll see as it keeps playing out. But my favorite I think to win the competition for bantamweight, I'm taking Daniel Argueta, and for middleweight, I'm taking Andre Petroski. You know, out of the names I've mentioned and what I've told you, who you liking though to take this competition?
I mean, I'm always going to pick the hometown. Well, the guy who trains in the hometown or in the area. So I'm always going to be the supporter of the California guy. So Argueta probably. I mean, I can't really speak to it too much because I haven't really seen any of these other fighters, but I have seen Argueta fight, and he is a fantastic fighter. So,
Joey,
I agree with him. Hometown fighter, Argueta, all the way.
all right. Well, you know,
3 for 3, Argueta. There
3
you
for
go.
3, Argueta. We all rooting for you. We're gonna see as this keeps playing out. I might, you know, if we get another week where there's not another card, I may check back in to see how this Ultimate Fighter tournament is turning out. But in terms of my picks, I'm liking this. I'm liking that for once on this show, I finally have the whole, the whole table on board with me. And, you know, especially
You still suck.
I still shoot 50-50 every week
That's what she
because
said.
that is
Anyway.
the fun of this show.
This has been another great. Now, where can they find you on your social media platforms?
I am pretty much only on Instagram, and it's at Gentleman MMA.
Grinder. No.
No, not Grindr.
Oh, sorry.
Probably Tinder.
I was
Tinder.
gonna say Bumble.
And what about you, Adam?
Well, they can always find me here and on Instagram at adam.araby, and then
On the
also
sexual
down
predators list.
and
Chris Hansen's Instagram.
and down at Subfighter in Laguna Hills. And one guy I want to give up, I want to thank you, Jeff, for coming on the show. Like I said, a guy who's definitely played a big factor, in my journey in martial arts, and then along with podcasting and everything that I'm doing here, and just a big motivator in all the things that I pursue, and a guy that, just has been a cool dude and good friend. A guy I appreciated.
That's
Getting to
People
train
call
with.
me a dick, so yes.
I know. No, you have your moments, There's definitely been those moments, especially like when I woke up to your sweaty ass feet on my the day after my 21st birthday, after we were very, very drunk.
Wait, okay, well, so you can find me
Don't take that the wrong way.
on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Sweaty Feet, and definitely for sure. This has been a great show. Logan, brother, hope you get your ass kicked next week. I mean, this Sunday, you piece of shit. And then after that, that's it. This has been another great show of the Gym Crashers. This is Joey the Bull, Adam,